Hey, welcome to my journey into another weigh-in video. Listen, I told y'all I wasn't sure where this one was going because I have not been the poster child for Weight Watchers, for gastric bypass, for nothing. I have not. So I was a little surprised when I got on this morning. I weighed at 257.4 for a loss of 1.2. I'm thinking every time I have a little something, what if I had tried? What if I had actually tried every day? Not just a part of this day and a part of that day. What if every day I tried like I used to? What would have happened? I don't know. I can't say. I could have had a gain. That's the honest truth. Because my weight is weird. I'm here to tell you, this gastric bypass, it ain't changed a thing with the way my weight goes up and down. I have to do the same things before I had it. I have to do those same things now. But this week I did a little bit of tracking, a little bit of eating right. There could have been a lot more tracking and a lot more eating right. I did some eating in the bed. That's a bad habit I used to be into. I used to have this, well, it started out with Hershey spread. Do y'all remember several years back? Well, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years back, Hershey's had a spread. Well, I got hooked on Hershey spread. To me, it was better than Nutella. I was a Nutella girl, and then Hershey spread came along, and oh my gosh. So that's back when I could stay up half the night instead of like I am now, where I'm falling asleep at 8 o'clock. David would go to work. I'd go get in the bed, watch TV with my jar of Hershey's. So I kept me a jar of Hershey's and a spoon right beside the bed. And I know a lot of those pounds I packed on come from Hershey's because I ate 2 or 3 jars a week. I'm sitting here telling you, yeah, it's embarrassing, but whatever. If it helps somebody who's going through it right now, maybe you're going through it with Nutella, put the spoon down. Oh. Every now and then you'll see them little bitty jars at the Dollar Tree. I'll pick one up every now and then. Bad part is the way the jars are made, you can't get up under the rim, so you lose half of your Nutella. But it gives you just that little bit of fix. Maybe you get a couple tablespoons, if that. So, but I don't even know. I think, honestly, it might have been Weight Watchers that made me give it up, because I didn't give it up on my own. I gave it up. I'm almost positive I gave it up when I started Weight Watchers in April of 2018. Because there was nothing before that was causing me to give it up. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible food obsession. And I would eat anything in the bed. I liked just sitting in the bed eating and watching TV. That was my thing. David would go to work and then I would just be in there. And I've gotten to that habit a little bit here lately. I'll go to bed and I'm not quite sleepy. Believe it or not, I'm having a few days here and there. And I'll find me a little something to eat and I'll sit in there and eat while I'm watching TV. And so I can't get back into that habit. I'm in the problem I'm having is I'm eating too much throughout the day. Some meals I eat too much at a time. My stomach is taking in way more food than it should for its size, and I'm letting it happen. So I don't know if I'm stretching it. If I need, I don't know what I need to do to maybe see if, I don't know if you can shrink it. I don't know if you can shrink your stomach. But I feel like I'm making it, giving it the capacity more of which it was had cut down to be. Even though when I don't eat till I'm overstuffed, within an hour, I'm still hungry. I'm hungry for something else. And it don't matter what I eat. It don't matter what it is. If it's good food, if it's bad food, I get hungry. So I can eat supper and eat something good. And an hour later, I'm thinking, golly, I can eat some more of that, you know? Now, I don't eat every night after supper, but I've gotten to the habit some nights I do. And I've got to get out of that because there for the longest time, I mean, long time, I did not eat after supper. Because we eat late. And there was really no time to eat because as soon as I eat, I would just pass out sound asleep. So there was really no time for me to eat. I kind of, some of these days, I'm making time to eat. I got to stop it. Listen, I got to smack my own hand. I got to stop it. So, anyway, at least I lost 1.2, and I don't really know how, other than the fact I did have some good days, partial good days. I guess the whole day, every day wasn't, you know what? I don't want to say it. Oh my gosh, let me tell. Listen. Okay. So, y'all that know me know I don't watch this sappy stuff. I don't do Hallmark movies, Hallmark TV shows, none of that. That's not me. But I have found, it's an old show, new to me, Heartland. Any of y'all watch that? It's as wholesome as the day is long. It is, I hate to say it, but it is so not me because I'm a little more edgy. That's a good word. I'm a little more edgy than Heartland. It came on one day. I ain't been watching it about 4 days now. It was that or the news. I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel like watching the news, so I watched that, and I got into it. Well, now I'm invested. I'm fully invested. It comes on 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm there. I looked to try to find the full series. You have to pay. So it's at season 3. Just had season 3 finale today. Don't like how it ended. Season 4, episode 1 starts tomorrow morning at 6. They better get it back to where I need it to be. David come in this morning. I said, don't talk to me. So what if I did pause Heartland while I was on the phone with CBS so I didn't miss nothing? He just starts laughing. He goes, you found your show, ain't you? I'm like, yes. It's not that I'm against wholesome TV, but I don't like sappy TV. But this is not sappy. It's just, you get to learn the little characters and their stories, and it's set out in this beautiful country. I don't even know, it's in Canada. It's a Canadian show. I don't even know what part of Canada, but it's in the mountains, the snow. Oh, it's gorgeous. And they're a horse ranch, and yeah, I like it. Any of y'all watch that, let me know. I looked it up, and I think it said there's like 15 seasons. Lord, if I only get from 6 to 8, do I only get 2 episodes in the morning? You know how long it's going to take me? If they keep going and don't stop, you know, sometimes they don't have rights to past a certain point on some shows, and they'll start back over. So how long is it going to take me to get through this? I wish I had seen the first 2 seasons and most of season 3, but maybe one day. So, yeah, I'm all about the Heartland. Listen, let me tell you, I was looking at something on Instagram, and somebody posted a thing. It's like, I don't even remember what it said. It was something about January something, and there was a flower in the middle, and it was like giving you little, not all just goals, but something like that. Well, the one that caught my eye was stop watering every flower. I'm like, oh, that is some strong words right there. Because I'm like, that can go all kind of different ways. Like, stop watering. That's like quit giving legs to things. That's what that means. To me, that's what it means. Is quit giving wings. Every bug don't have to fly. Well, I shouldn't say every person don't have to walk. That sounds stupid. Like, they'll say like a rumor. Somebody starts a rumor. Don't give it legs, as in don't add to it. Don't pass it along. Don't let it sprout wings and fly. Make it go further than you. If it gets to you, stop it. Don't water every flower. Don't water every notion that comes into your head. Everything that comes into your mind is not something that needs to be watered. It needs to go further. Some things just need to stop with you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We have thoughts and things, and everything doesn't need to be acted on. And then stop watering negative thoughts of other people about you, or that you perceive to be negative about you. Sometimes we think people are thinking things about us when, if you got a little bubble up top of their head, we're nowhere even near it. But sometimes we think, we're so self-conscious, we think everybody must be talking about you. What's that song? You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. I think sometimes, and it's not vanity, it's just self-consciousness, I think is what it is. So don't, even if it is some kind of, negativity from somebody else, don't water it. Don't feed into it. You don't even have to answer it. If somebody comes at you with some negativity, you don't even have to answer it. You can just say, not going there. And you're not watering it. You're not making it blossom. You're not making it grow. You can have negative things inside yourself. Negative self-talk to you. You can say, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I didn't lose enough weight. I'm too fat. Yeah, I can say fat because I'm fat. Sometimes it's how you use a word. It's not the word. There's nothing wrong with the word fat. Chicken has fat on it. There's all kind of, steak has fat on it, and that's some of the best fat you will ever eat is steak fat. I can't help it. It is. So words are only, look, there you go. There's a classic. That one just came out of nowhere. There's a word. Don't water it. Don't make it mean more than what it means. Fat. We got fat on our body. Big deal. Now, if you're not fat, you call me fat with a negative undertone about it, with a mean, kind of way, then yeah, that's using it the wrong way. But just because something's a word, you don't have to water it and turn it into something big that it don't need to be. It's just, just fat. It's just the word fat. But when we think these things about ourselves, don't water them. Don't make them get any bigger than they need to get. Don't say, oh, I'm just not smart enough. And then sit there and start listing out all the way. Writing it out. No, don't water it. Put it out of your mind. Tell yourself you are smart. You are just like children. Children are going to be what you tell them. You tell a child that he's dumb, he's going to turn into thinking he's dumb, and then he's not going to try because he figures, why bother? I'm dumb. Y'all know that's the truth. You tell a child, you feed a child a certain diet of positivity or negativity, and that's what they're going to believe. You do yourself the same way. You feed yourself a diet of that negativity, and if you keep score and you keep making lists, this side and this side, you're watering it. You're giving it legs. You're giving it wings. You're making it grow bigger than it should be. You might not be smart enough. I hate to use that, smart enough, because there's all kind of smarts. There's book smarts, street smarts, pick something. There's a smarts to it. There's Las Vegas smarts. That's a whole kind of smarts to itself. I ain't smart like that. I got a little book smarts. I got a little street smarts. Got a little bit of each. I'm not a master of neither one of them, but I'm not going to sit around and tell myself I'm not smart enough to be I was watching Big Bang, a theoretical physicist, because that's stupid. Of course I'm not. I ain't been to school for it, and I don't have the brain capacity to even understand what they're talking about, much less take it in school. But that don't mean I got to sit around and tell myself that I'm dumb because I'm not a theoretical physicist. No. Don't make something bigger than it needs to be. I'm not worthy because I ain't lost all my weight. Well, that don't mean you're unworthy. That just means you ain't got there yet. Y'all know it took me 5 years to lose my 130 pounds. And guess what? I've gained, now I'm down to 10 of it back. I had gained 20 of it back. When I went to the bariatric doctor the other day, it was time for my checkup. I weighed 5 pounds more than I do today. So that put me gaining 25 pounds, I think, total. I lost 3 last week. I had lost a little before I weighed, I guess with my leg going down and whatnot. But I gained 20 to 25 pounds in that area over the 3 months that I was laid up with these knees. So I went from 130 loss to now I'm at 120 loss. It sucks because I was riding high on that 130. Got my board. There we go. Got my board, my buttons all up there. Now my buttons, I had to back up off my buttons because I gain some weight. But guess what? I'm not going to sit around and water that thought that I'm not worthy because I gained some weight back. No, it is something that happened. I'm not going to get my knees replaced again. I got that done. I'm over. I've not got 3 months of sitting home, can't move. Now I can start to move. I can start to walk. I did my Richard Simmons this morning. Ooh, I had to quit. I got two songs I had to quit. What I did was when I worked it the other day, I left it where I left off. When I quit, they was getting kind of, pumped up. And so I started, instead of having time to warm up, I jumped right on in, going fast. Whew. That wore me out. And the second one wasn't super slow. So that got me. I had to quit. But I did it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you can see me, and this is not negative talk that I'm watering, I'm giving you my observation. My observation is I can't move fast. I went from doing it stiff, mostly just upper body, because the lower body wouldn't move. And he does these cha-cha-cha moves. I can sit here and do cha-cha-cha, but it's not cha-cha-cha, 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 fast as they go. And so I tried it, and my leg, I was lagging behind them. They was cha-cha-cha, and I was like, cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha. That's how it was. I couldn't get the rhythm of it for love nor money. And some of the side moves, he would try to go front like that and like that. So it is like I am, and I knew this routine, this tape front to back. I knew it. I could be in the store, hear a song, and I could do the moves, whatever. I'm like, because I had it memorized. But my lower body, I don't have it from down there because I couldn't do anything from my lower body for the very longest of times. When my knees finally stopped, then so did my lower body. So everything was stiff from the waist down. My knees would not bend. And so everything was just, so now I'm having to relearn it like from scratch, like I've never done it before. And I was getting all off kilter. It was, it was a sight. But boy, oh boy, I think I don't know, it wasn't 15 minutes, but it wasn't 10 minutes. We'll say 12 minutes. I got 12 minutes in. So, at PT yesterday, she said, did you go out and walk? I'm like, no, I didn't go out and walk. She goes, well, you need to try to go out and walk. I'm like, I'm not going out in this cold. I'm not doing it. It's only going to be 50, and that's how it's been being. I'm not walking out in 50-degree weather. Call it an excuse if you want to. I ain't doing it. I ain't built for it. And my first walk out, no, when it starts warming up, then I'll start walking outside. I ain't walking outside in this cold air. Not doing it. Those of you that do it, that's really good. And maybe I'll be able to do it next year. But my maiden voyages on the old legs, walking out there in that cold air, breathing that cold air in, and that cold air making me stiff as I'll get out, I ain't doing it. So that's why I'm trying to do Richard Simmons inside. It isn't better than nothing. And it's moving, boy, it's moving your legs the whole time, I'll tell you that. It is moving and moving your arms. Yeah, it's a good workout. Even if it is just 10 minutes, which I told you that's all she told me to do, is 10 minutes of walking. Set my time for 5 minutes up, and when I get to 5 minutes, turn around and come back. That's all she wants me to do. So I'm thinking maybe that's all she wants on that knee. But yesterday I got my measurement 106 degrees. Yes. Time before that was 103. And so from Monday to Wednesday, I got it up to 106. Now 112 and 115 is their ideal spot, which, like we've discussed before, I'll never get there because of the fat on my calf and the fat behind my thigh. That fat's bumping together. Obviously it's not gonna, like, it could go like this if there was no fat, but there's that layer of fat, so that's where it stops, which I'm cool with that because, and she was sitting there, she said, we're going to do tailgating. So I was sitting on the table and she had me raising up and my legs was like this far off of the thing. She goes, okay, what do you do when you're sitting on the back of a truck bed? I started kicking my legs. She goes, exactly, that's tailgating. So she said, just do your legs. So I just do my leg. And then she got a little rubber band, those little elastics, and she put it behind my leg and she held it, and then she had me pull it to give it some resistance back and forth. Well, then we got through doing that and she was stretching my leg. So she was bending. I was talking to the other therapist that was sitting over behind her, and we was chit-chatting, and of course Sarah was talking too, and she was bending it and she was twisting it and rubbing it. She does those rubbing things where she like, and she showed me how to rub out my scars underneath the skin. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And so we were talking and carrying on doing it. She goes, she said you hadn't even grunted or flinched or nothing. I'm like, yeah, I really hadn't, because you ain't hurt me. So it was really moving back really good. Now when you lay on your back and you pull your knees up, it's a little bit harder that way than if you're sitting on the table and bending it back, and I don't understand why, but something that's about I don't know. But anyway, 106. Yeah, buddy. She said, because she was rubbing it, she goes, this scar tissue. I said, oh, there's scar tissue under there? And she told me, she said, come here, feel this right here. So I felt it. It's like a big, and she smoothed that out. I can feel it. She said, yeah, she showed me what to do. She said, I don't like to spend my time doing that because that's something you can do. She said, I like to spend my time doing what I've learned to do. How to, I guess it basically elongates those muscles. It stretches them out. It gives them more elasticity, the different kind of massage techniques that she does to it. And so, but she said, get you some vitamin E oil, which I ordered from Walmart's last night. It's supposed to be here today. And she said, okay, so here's the scar. Edie, get vitamin E oil for Ray, because the other one, there's just a few, I can feel just a few spots. Not really, but there's this one. I think because there's a lot more fat over here, and he had to pull up a lot more skin when he pulled it up to sew it, staple it. It was a big honking mess of it. But as I run my hands down the scar, I can feel the scar tissue. All the things that you feel underneath the skin that are bumpy, that's scar tissue. And she said you can smooth it out. She said it gives you a better appearance on your scar. So she said, so here's the scar. Take your vitamin E oil and just go down each side of the scar like that. She goes, then you can take your thing and go from side to side, back and forth like that. And then, what'd she say? Maybe, was it back from this over this? Oh, no, up and down, straight up and down, like that. So, Edie over at Edie's Adventures, her husband just had his knee replaced yesterday. So yeah, get him some vitamin E oil and have him, when he can get his bandage off and everything, that'll be a good week before he gets that off. So, or 2 weeks, I should say. Mine was 2 weeks, put it that way. They do things different up there. She's in Pennsylvania. I'm in North Carolina. She did it, they had it different for him up there than they had it for me. I told her, I said, I'm glad I'm in North Carolina because I didn't want to do it the way he did it. Gives me the EBGBs. I ain't gonna tell you how he had his. She can tell you that. That's her story to tell. I'm just telling you. I like the way I was put to sleep a whole lot better. It don't creep me out. So, yeah, I guess that's all we know today. Holly and the baby coming up tomorrow. Oh my gosh, let me just tell y'all. So, we order our laundry and trash bags, all kinds of stuff like that from Sam's. And we get it shipped for free because I'm a member on my mama's and she got the plus. And so we get anything shipped from, I can order something from them every single day, and every single day they're going to ship it for free. Well, I ordered David's Persil because that's what he washes his clothes in. I wash mine. Oh, I need to order mine. I'm glad we're talking about it. Let me put it to memory. Let me write it down right now. Laundry. His came yesterday, so I picked, and it's heavy. It's those, big things, liquid. So I went out and got it. I picked it up and I rested it on the side of the love seat till I got the door shut. I could pick it up and take it over on the bar. And when I picked it up, I felt something wet. And there was this wide, about that big, where it had drained and saturated my couch. Persil is blue. Thank goodness it's not blue, but it's thick. Y'all know how thick laundry detergent is. I was letting it dry last night to see what it did. It left a nice stain there. So I got my carpet shampooer out that's got an attachment that you can use as a hand for upholstery. And I did it, but the way it was solution, I'm like, that's probably not the best option, is to add solution onto detergent. So I'm letting it dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna get just like a bowl of water and dab water on it, and then just use my thing to suck the water up, and little by little hopefully get that detergent out of the couch. Because I'm here to tell you, Walmart's is gonna say it's the mail, and the mail's gonna say it's Walmart's, Sam's, and I just don't feel like dealing with it. So hopefully I can get it out. That's all I know. But boy, I was not happy. Not at all. So, I'm trying to think. That was some storming around me. They had, we didn't have anything. We just had thunder and lightning. That's all we had. A bunch of rain, but just thunder and lightning. Wind. There was wind, but nothing, major. And but I watched the news David flicked it over. He was wanting to see, and one of the surrounding counties, the whole back end, this house, it must have been a tornado because the whole back end of the house was just sheared off. There was trees everywhere. One person died. So it was really severe. And up there at Joan and Edie's, they had it really severe. So that was a bad storm coming through. Now it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, but I don't think there's any of them storms forecast. I don't think. I'm not sure. But did any of y'all have any of that major storms? I'm not talking about snow. It was rainstorms with humongous gusts of wind, and there could have been tornadoes in it, as far as I know. So did any of y'all have any of that? Listen, I don't mind a good storm. I love a good thunderstorm because y'all know I love rain. I love rain ever since I was a kid, standing on Miss Murph's porch with my nose up to the screen, smelling it, hearing it, looking at it, ever since I was a kid, waiting on my mama. And but wind, I don't like the wind. I'm not a fan of because the last storm we had here that was big, the row of houses behind me, it was like the third house up, so not the one behind me and not that one, but that one. They had a big old tree. It just uprooted it. If it had fallen the other way, it would have crushed their house because it sat close to their house, and it was a big tree, and the root ball was way, way, way above your head because there was people out there standing around it when I went through. Well, we couldn't go through. We had to go around the other way because it went across the street. But when they got the tree cut out of the street, when I was able to go through, people were standing out there, I guess, surveilling the damage and what they got to do, and way, 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 way above their head. So we have that big water oak in the front, humongous tree, and I worry about it. But I'm like, it's got to be so deep. But you know what? That's what a lot of these trees are, that deep. But I try not to listen. Let me stop watering that flower. Don't let me give wings to that thought, because I can obsess over those things, because we have these big tall pine trees in our backyard. It's our neighbors, and they're like Twin Peaks tall. And when the wind blows and they're all back and forth, they worry me to death that they're going to fall this way and hit the building or hit the house, because they're tall enough they'd come over here, they'd get to the house. So I'm trying not to give that as what we're talking about today. Try not to water that, not to make it grow in my mind anymore. But what was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, so those storms, that's what I was saying. The wind scares me because I've seen what it can do, and it scares me. Not to mention, I don't like sitting in there in my chair and the wind blowing something, and I hear something on my porch and it make me jump. I don't like that at all. Well, I think that's all I know. If there was anything else I was going to tell you, there ain't nothing to tell you, because I ain't been doing nothing. Ain't been doing nothing. Ain't been going nowhere. Ain't been shopping. Went to the doctor. That's it. Didn't go to the store after the doctor. Didn't feel like it. I thought this morning, maybe I'd go somewhere. I don't feel like it. I have to put clothes on. I mean, I can wear this with a jacket over it. Just change my pants. I mean, I have socks on. It's not like it's a big deal. Just take my shorts off and put pants on. Whoop-de-doo. But I don't feel like it. I don't know what I feel like doing today. I'm going to tell you this. I ain't felt like coming back here in this craft room. I have got this, okay. Lord, they got my prescriptions ready that fast. I just called them in this morning. Go ahead on. Well, I believe I'll go to the pharmacy, because today's pill putting together day. And I ran out of 2. So I reckon maybe I'll get dressed and go to the pharmacy. I'll do that much. Listen, it's bad. I got to start paying for my medicine again. Because when I get my out of pocket, then everything's free for the rest of the year. Lord, I didn't pay for medicine for, gosh, I don't remember the last time I paid for medicine. Now having to, that's going to suck. I hate it. But I got these here. I done a video that I ain't put up because it was a little collaboration with a company who said they will send you our products if you'll do a little video for us. And I've shot the video. I just hadn't edited and got it to go up, which maybe I'll work on that today. But I have 2 diamond painting kits that I need to come back here and start. And I don't know, there's just something about, I just don't feel like being in this craft room. Sitting here too long in this chair gets my knees stiff, but I can get up and down. Ooh, I can get up and down without holding on. Let me just tell you, I can do all these things, getting up and down, except for my recliner, because the way it sits, it kind of dips down in the back, so I'm dipped down. I'm having to really pull myself up, so I'm not that strong yet. But I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just listen, I can't water that flower, but this flower has watered itself since before I even had my first knee done. I've got to where I'm just not like feeling like doing nothing. So I don't know how to get out of that. I got all kind of stuff in here to work with. I don't have any inspiration. See, the diamond painting I don't have to study on. I just have to just follow it. Just read the letter or the number and put the little things on it. And it's done for me. There's no thinking to it. It's just, and it's very enjoyable. I didn't think I would like it, but it is very enjoyable. Let me show you. Hold on. I'm sorry. When I took that sip of coffee, it just shot down my throat before I told it to. I've showed you these before, but Terry sent me these over at Yarn Joy Podcast. This was my first foray, and one of them is missing because it's in one of my junk journals. That one down there that I hadn't worked on. I got enough stuff to start a new journal. Just ain't done it. But these are little stickers, so I can peel that off, and it's a little sticker. But this was the first, all these little, look at these adorable, these are little diamond painting kits. This little website that I'm gonna do a video on, you can buy little things like this, just little, that's a good way to start. Look how adorable they are. Oh my gosh. I had so much fun. I sat back here and did them all at one time. I couldn't help it. I just kept, I'm like, okay, I gotta do the next one. Well, I gotta do the next one. I gotta do the next one. And I don't know what to put them on. That's why I put that one in my junk journal. I feel like if I use them, then they'll be used and I won't have them. And they're special, kind of like special perfume. We've talked about that before. Quit saving the perfume for something special. Use the dadgum perfume. I put on Sweet Honesty this morning. I smell youthful. Listen, I don't know what made me think about it, but I dreamed last night I went to Wanda's and I was shopping in behind somebody and she was talking about, what did she call them? Baked tater things, baked taters something. I'm like, oh, what's she talking about? So I got up behind her and it was this little stack of little metal tube, almost tater shaped looking things that you open up, and it had spikes. Now, how they were stacked with spikes in them is beyond me, but you know how dreams go. You open it up, you set the tater on it, on the spikes, and put the lid on it, and that's what you put in the oven to bake it, and it's supposed to make it get hotter and bake. And you know what? I woke up thinking, I think I need some of those. I don't think there's no such a thing, but in my dream there was, and when I woke up, I just declared to myself, I need them. I must go to Wanda's and look for them. You know I like a good baked tater out of the oven, don't y'all? Now, I bake mine a lot in the microwave because I have those microwave tater bags. If you ain't got one, they're good. They're good. They bake a good tater, and they're quick. So, but if I have time, I like to bake a tater in the oven. There's just something about a good old oven baked tater. Boy, that sounds good. We're not having taters today. We're having crock pot chicken with some stuffing, because David, he's been wanting some stuffing. He said, put some stuffing in there somewhere. And what are we having with that? Maybe some field peas or something, and some brown gravy, a pack of my brown gravy. Because, you know, if you didn't watch it, I am doing a pantry challenge, except it's my way. I'm just calling it the Use It Up Pantry Challenge, where I'm trying to use up all these little odds and ends of things I have, because I don't have a freezer full of meat. I can't do that kind of challenge. We would starve because I don't have it. But I can use up all these little, what I say, the little go-withs, you know. And so, for today, the go-with is the stuffing and the brown gravy mix. And if it's field peas, I have those in the freezer. So the only thing I had to buy was the chicken. And I'm here to tell you, David, he has, I don't know if it's a hiatal hernia or what, but it's down where you get your hiatal hernias. Now, he was getting choked before, and they had to stretch his esophagus. And it's gone back now. And he can't chew big pieces of meat or dry pieces of meat. He'll get choked, and then he throws up, and then his whole meal is ruined. It's pitiful. It's pitiful when it happens. He thinks he's cut it small enough. He thinks he's chewed it enough, and then it gets hung. And anything that goes down behind it, when he don't realize that it's hung, just comes right back up. Bless his heart. It's terrible. He says, I've got to go to the doctor and tell them I want this fixed once and for all. I said, yeah, you really do. He just hadn't made it yet. He says, you get the same thing to him. He'll say, well, I'll get to it when I get through with this tractor. Well, I'll get to it when I get through with this tractor. Then when we get through with the tractor, well, we got to plant. We got to work the garden, you know. So he's thinking he'll do his wrist surgery in the fall. He said, I'm thinking if I can last through the fall, get through the summer, which what I'm having to do for him now. And I don't even know what we was talking about before we went to this, but we'll just go on with this. Works for me. I buy, the last time I bought the chicken breast on the bone, put it in the crock pot, so much more moist than a plain old boneless, skinless chicken breast. So moist. He had such an easier time eating that chicken. So if it's chicken that doesn't need to be shredded or cut up into pieces, I'm buying it on the bone and cooking it, whether it's in the oven, crock pot, whatever I'm doing, I'm buying it on the bone. So today it's going to be in a crock pot on the bone. But what I'm having to do, his medicine, I don't use the arthritis tops. I hadn't in years because my hands, I was having trouble at that time, real bad trouble with my hands, and I couldn't get the lids off. So I told him, I said, don't give me no arthritis lids. So I just get the kind that just pops off and on, the flat ones. And he gets the arthritis kind. And I told him, I said, well, as I run out of my medicines and get them refilled, I'll save you the lids. So that's what I've started doing for him now. I had 3 I got replaced this morning from working on my medicine. So like he said, he goes, he said, I have to use my left hand either way. Either I'm holding the bottle and I have to hold it still while I crank down to get the lid off, or I have to crank down to get the lid off and hold it with the other hand. Either way, it hurts his hand. So that's what I did for him this morning. Now I don't know what else we was talking about, but that's the pantry challenge I'm doing. If you want to do it with me, go ahead and do it. So, all right, well, I think that's all I'm going to talk about today, and I think that's all. I don't know when I'll see you. I might put up that diamond painting video tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to get it edited today and get it put up. So, that's all I know. Oh, this is Thursday. Oh, Saturday's prep. Golly, didn't we just do that? Did we not just do that? Where does time go, y'all? My goodness. All right, well, then I guess I'll either see you tomorrow for my diamond painting video, or I'll see you Saturday for prep. So, have a good one, and that's all. That's all. Cut. That's all. Bye.